Welcome to PACTV Community News, Kingston, Duxbury, Pembroke, and Plymouth's weekly cable access news program featuring stories from your community.
This week, PACTV Community News gives you an update on Pembroke's Community Center project with feedback from recent townwide public forums.
We said we would do is take all the different uses together and send out a survey to try and get some prioritization about those different uses.
We'll see the newly formed Plymouth Guard's reenactment of a 1640 military calling.
The survivors of the Mayflower passengers met to establish military orders for the defense of the colony.
And we get a sneak peek at the upcoming performance of Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross by the Duxbury Bay Players.
I love the idea of trying to move an audience emotionally, spiritually, make them laugh, make them cry.
Also this week, we visit a Relay for Life kickoff event.
It's one of the most amazing events I've ever taken part of. It's very emotional, it's uplifting, it's inspiring.
And bring you a new segment called Health and Wellness.
Michelle McGrath takes arts and entertainment on the road, and Town Talk comes from Kingston.
It's all coming up on PACTV Community News.
Pembroke's Community Center Study Committee recently held several public forums and analyzed an online survey seeking public feedback on what town residents want in a new community center. PACTV Community News met up with committee members for an update and to learn about the project's next steps.
We've had one public forum to date. This first one was on uses for a community center and what people would like for uses, and I think we had a pretty good discussion.
Is the building that we have representative of our community? And is it safe? So I'm going to be honest with you, and I hope none of you hit me for saying this. I will not let my children in that building.
And I worked the election during the debt exclusion. And we had so many people come in to vote that day who didn't know what to do with a ballot, asked us for a pen, asked what do you do now, who had never ever voted in this town before. And this town, if we have a debt exclusion to fund this building or fund the bonding, is not going to fly in Pembroke.
The Y was there, and the Y was able to provide some insights about how they were looking at the project or the potential of their involvement in the project.
So it would be, in essence, if there was an interest for a Y/community center, then it would be our responsibility to reach out to be of whatever assistance we possibly can with the community.
We said we would do is take all the different uses together and send out a survey to try and get some prioritization about those different uses, because clearly every use that's been mentioned is not necessarily possible to be done in this building, and some of those have only been mentioned by one person, so it wouldn't make sense to do it unless it made sense for the rest of the community. So Finance and Admin is another committee within our group. I could see them having a public forum after the construction and design public forum where they talk about, okay, so we've made some decisions about what we should do as far as building goes. We've made some decisions about uses, because the survey that will go out will help us prioritize those. And we've tried to make some decisions about partnering and how we would finance it. I would hope that it would make it, I would hope a question would make it to the fall town meeting. And I don't know what that, depending on which way we end up going, I'm not sure if that will be a, here's everything we're going to do, and we're all on board, so you're ready to spend money, or if it'll be more like, here is an indication of where we're going because we're partnering or doing something like that. There's continuously meetings up here by all the subcommittees. If you ever, up here being the town hall, if you ever want to see what's going on, please, by all means, jump in. If you ever have any questions, or if you want to hear a general update or something like that, you can always go to the town website where we have a separate section on us, and there's also an email address there that you can use to shoot any of us an email with any questions that you might have.
A military drill took place this month in Plymouth. The newly formed Plymouth Guard held a reenactment portraying citizen soldiers of the Plymouth colony circa 1640. The Guard's mission is to promote knowledge and understanding of early colonial society and its military. They conducted the drill at the top of Leiden Street, and PACTV Community News was there to capture the event and speak with Guard Captain Steve Mattern.
We organized this group in April of 2012. Our purpose is to demonstrate the military arts and practices of the early colonial era from 1620 on to about 1640-50.
On February 21st, 1621, we found in our research the survivors of the Mayflower passengers met in this area to establish military orders for the defense of the colony.
Every man between 16 and 60 was a part of the militia. Each year the militia would organize themselves, elect a captain.
So we are here to reenact Establishment Day 1621, which would be the 392nd anniversary of the founding of military orders within the colony of Plymouth.
We'll be reading a proclamation which actually comes from 1640 official colony records.
This colony that we met and put together rules we call the Compact, and by the grace of God and fealty to our King James, and whereas we made such covenant to make a civil body politic for our better order and act laws thus convenient for us, we do determine that a guard be established for the defense and comfort of the colony. Thus, pursuant to the directions of musters, as is custom in His Majesty's land, the persons of men to be enrolled in the Guard. Such Guard shall be constituted of all freemen and must be of able active body that are resident in this colony aged 16 to 60. Having foresaid, this is the decree of the Governor, and it shall henceforth be carried forth. To the election of officers we now pursue. Do we have a name to enter for us as to be the captain of this Guard?
Miles Standish.
Aye. We have a nomination for Miles Standish.
We want Standish.
Aye. Aye. Mr. Miles Standish, you are the company commander. I step aside.
We'll begin each drill with a prayer. Lord, we have undertaken to come to a whole new world, and yet we come here as Englishmen, as subjects of the King. We will uphold the King's law here in this new world by the grace of God. Take up your match. Fix your match. Cover your pad. Low your match. Open your pan. Freeze it. Give fire.
Prepare to charge your pike. Charge your pike. Now let's really be fierce and go. Ah! Ah! Yeah, half of it to scare them away. Right. All right.
The Book Shack at the Independence Mall in Kingston hosted a Relay for Life kickoff event. Relay for Life is the annual walking fundraiser for cancer research and a cure. The Book Shack has started a book donation program, and some of the resale proceeds go to Relay for Life. PACTV Community News was there to learn about the donation program and meet the Relay for Life team.
We walk around the track from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until about 10 o'clock the next morning. And each team always has a team member walking on that track. So we walk, we rest, we sleep a little bit during the night, and we always have somebody walking.
The idea with the Relay for Life is to really help a great cause. So we started a program called Relay Your Books, Pay Your Book Forward. It's a great way to help a great cause with the American Cancer Society. We're starting it off here in Plymouth, and we want to go national with this, global.
This is a Relay Your Books fundraising kickoff. So the Relay for Life of Greater Plymouth is working with the Book Shack, who's been very, very supportive of the Relay for Life. And what we're doing is the teams that participate in the Relay for Life are able to collect their used books, bring them into the Book Shack, and then the Book Shack will be reselling them and donating 20% of the profits made towards the team's fundraising totals.
The team members will actually grab books or accumulate books from their families or their bookshelves. The idea is to bring the books here to the Book Shack, and 20% of the proceeds will actually go to the Relay for Life, the American Cancer Society.
I think it's a really cool fundraiser. I know our teams, our dedicated team of participants are always looking for unique fundraisers, and I think they're going to be very excited about this one.
The Relay for Life is an overnight walk that we do to raise money for cancer research and to honor survivors as well as remember and celebrate those who are no longer with us. It's one of the most amazing events I've ever taken part of. It's very emotional, it's uplifting, it's inspiring, and I'm happy to do it.
We've done well. When you're out there in the middle of the night and you're walking and you're all alone and you think, I'm here for a reason and I've done a good job.
A scathing comedy comes to Duxbury's First Parish Church in March. The Duxbury Bay Players, a nonprofit community theater organization, will present Glengarry Glen Ross on March 8th and 9th and 15th and 16th at 8 p.m. at the church on Tremont Street. More information and tickets, go to their website, bayplayers.org. The group's mission is to provide local individuals with the opportunity to perform and produce theatrical shows and events. PACTV Community News caught a recent rehearsal, met some of the players, and learned more about the show.
I don't get on the board the 30th, they're going to can my ass. I need the leads, and I need them now, or I'm gone. And you're going to miss me, John, I promise you.
So it's set in the early 80s in a Chicago real estate office. That's it's a less than scrupulous real estate sales where you have a bunch of salesmen who are selling worthless swampland in Florida to unwitting victims. It's a story of, money, greed, desperation, the things people will do in order to make a buck.
You're saying me? Yes. $2,500 apiece for one night's work and the job with Graf.
I love the idea of trying to move an audience emotionally, spiritually, make them laugh, make them cry. It's a nice feeling of power in a way.
No, listen, I love this. I think the scene is up there. It's up there. It's been there for a long time. So good.
David Mamet, the playwright, he likes to write in real life, the way people talk. You'll notice as you observe the rehearsal, you'll notice the way people stop and interrupt each other and finish each other's thoughts. It's really the way people talk, and he captures that fairly well. And let's face it, with a bunch of men sitting around a sales office, there's going to be some colorful adjectives being thrown around, and this show has its share.
I saw them on Homestead. We pitched the Rio Rancho 1969. They wouldn't buy. They couldn't buy a toaster, John. They're broke. They're cold. The dead beats.
Well, the Bay Players have been around since the 50s, and I was a member of the Bay Players in the 70s and 80s and directed a lot of plays back then. It's a nice space, and once the lights are on and we put up our little thrust stage, it looks pretty good.
6 months of 82. Who's there? Who's up there?
Roma.
Under him.
Moss.
John, April, September 1981, it's me, it's not Moss. All due respect, he's an order taker, John. He talks.
And there's a certain charm that you get out of these actors. I call them citizen actors. They're all people with other jobs and interests and families and pressures of all sorts, and yet every night they come back to rehearsal and they devote themselves to, rehearsing and learning this and going through the anxiety of opening night and all that. And I think you'd ask any of these actors, they love it. They just like doing it. It's an outlet, for people.
Look at the sheets. Murray? Murray, you know, him. You tell him I said so, John.
It's not the heavy drama that people think it is. It's got a lot of comic touches, as I think you just saw in this last scene. You know, they're all characters who are struggling to survive. And in doing it, they're trying to swim upstream at all times and to just plumb survive. And I think people can identify with that. And Mamet wrote a wonderful play, very matter-of-fact play. It won a Pulitzer Prize back in 1984 when it first appeared, because it's powerful and it's funny. It's a slice of life. And it's quite unusual. It's a very unusual play. So I hope people will come and check it out.
Hi there, we're here this afternoon with Karen Fabian, the Artist Exposure Gallery right here in Plymouth, and we're at this amazing celebration of winter art right before the Romero concert. Karen, are you enjoying yourself today?
Yes, thank you.
It's such a great opportunity for this Artist Exposure Gallery because they're right new in Plymouth. They've only opened last September, and they're holding an event a month to raise visibility for what they're doing with their mission. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. It's all about, that's where the name came from, is Artist Exposure, because we're actually interested in exposing local artists. So I came into this business because speaking to whether they were commercial photographers, designers, or artists, they love to do their passion, but they're not so passionate about the marketing or actually communicating out what they do. So several of the artists, I've gone to their homes with wall-to-wall either watercolors or just beautiful artwork, and they don't do anything with it. So I'm excited to be able to give artists more of that exposure.
And this is a great opportunity for them to really break out of their little circle, because this is a flamenco and Spanish event. So you can imagine if you apply that kind of thought process to art, what color comes to life. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. So the adjective that we use to describe this show is bold, which goes right along with the dancing, the sound of the guitar music, as well as the colors that are very vibrant that you'll see in a lot of the artwork, especially the glass as well. So
this is a piece that we created specifically for this show, for Romero and for Karen Fabian of Artist Exposure Gallery. She asked us to create a Latin theme, Latin inspired, bright colors piece, and so we went with that. She also said to use flowy motion, and so we took that and we ran with it.
What comes in is like the coal working and all the assemblage and everything that goes into putting the whole, making it all come together into a fluent piece.
So we're here now with Linda Vopat. She's actually brought some really beautiful oil painting artwork to this exhibit outside of the Romero concert. Can you tell us a little bit about your style, Linda?
Well, my style is clearly abstract. I never use any photographs. Everything comes right out of my head. And the color can be anything. Sometimes I limit color to maybe 2 or 3, and other times it's every single color I can get my hands on. But the largest piece here today, I sat with for a year to determine whether it would be done. And then I paint the sides of the canvas. And that was done 2 days ago.
Wow, talk about being on a deadline. We're here now on stage with international famous artist Romero. He's Grammy Award winning, and we have this great opportunity to interview him up close and personal. So can you tell me a little bit about the style of the music that you'll be performing here today?
Okay. I hate to be categorized, and it's been my problem since like the 80s, and since I've been recording professionally, because it's a guitar. I'm a guitarist, but I'm a singer and I'm a composer, and I play like music that is hard to, like on the American Grammys, they put me on when I was nominated on Best Latin Pop Album of the Year, which I found it very weird. But I mean, I guess people, they have to identify something, and for me, I just call it an experience. It's definitely guitar-orientated music, and Spanish, of course, but it's got a world music element. I do not play like wind instruments. I don't play like horns or anything like that.
Sure.
But anything that I can plug, use my hands on it,
Sure.
not my mouth. I mean, I can play.
About this box that you're sitting on. We haven't seen a musical instrument around here like that lately.
Well, this is a cajon. Actually, this is a Spanish version of the cajon, the cajon is originally from Peru.
Mm-hmm.
But Paco de Lucia took it to Spain and they transformed this instrument, adding strings inside. So that's why it sounds like a snare, and it sounds like a bass drum and a snare. So it's a really complete instrument. So we have 3 of those tonight, and we all playing on it. So it's very percussive and very strong instrument. I love it.
Seems like it goes with that style of music well.
Yes.
That's wonderful. I'm so glad we had the opportunity to talk today, and I want to thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you.
We're here with Romero Memorial Hall. He's just about to start his concert, and thanks, and have a great concert. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and it's a pleasure to be in this town. This is my first time in Plymouth, so I hope not the last
one. Well, come back.
Please. Thank you.
Romero will be leaving a very snowy Plymouth this weekend to head back to London, where he'll be recording at Abbey Studios, where the Beatles recorded. This has been Michelle McGrath for PCN's Arts and Entertainment News.
PACTV Community News begins a new series this week. Our health and wellness segment will offer you helpful and informative information. This new series begins with a visit to Healthy Appetites in Plymouth for some tips on staying well during the cold and flu season.
I'm Jeff Hills from Healthy Appetites Natural Foods in Plymouth, Massachusetts. I'm here with PACTV Community News. We're doing a health and wellness segment trying to keep you well for the cold and flu season. Something I think everybody out there could benefit from would be to do vitamin D. Vitamin D is not in and of itself antimicrobial, but it does make your body make more of something called antimicrobial peptides, and those will attack the outer shell of a virus or a bacteria, and they'll make your immune system more able to just get rid of them. I would shoot for about 2,000 international units a day. I would do that with food. It's something that's very easy to get a hold of, it's very inexpensive, and it's very safe. Another thing I would consider would be to do a probiotic. Probiotics are the good bacteria that you would get in yogurt if yogurt wasn't pasteurized, which destroys much of the beneficial bacteria. You can make your own yogurt. If you don't feel like doing that, though, get a probiotic supplement. Look for something that has both the lactobacillus strains, those are going to settle in the small intestine, and the bifidus strains, those are going to settle in the large intestines. 80% of your immune system is in your intestines. Really important to maintain that. Another thing that I would consider would be mushrooms. All mushrooms are good. They all have some benefit to them. Even the mushroom that comes on top of a pizza is going to have some medicinal value. If you want more bang for your buck, get shiitake mushroom, or better yet, get a mushroom supplement. The mushroom supplements you get in a mushroom supplement are going to be things you're not going to get in a supermarket. You're not going to get reishi mushrooms, you're not going to get maitake mushrooms, you're not going to get the cordyceps mushrooms, and you're not going to get the coriolis mushrooms. All very, very important, all heavily examined for their immune boosting benefits. If they can handle cancer, they can handle your sniffles. Something else to consider would be the old tried and true echinacea. Still great thing to do, comes in liquids, comes in pills. For best benefit, you can do it right at the onset of the feelings of cold or flu, or you can do them daily. Do them 5 days on, 2 days off. I think that's a great way to go. The black elderberry syrup would be something to do. If you're looking specifically to beat a virus, it's a fantastic antiviral. It's been clinically shown to fight off influenza and the cold. Great thing to do. Olive leaf, also something heavily studied. A great antiviral. Can also be done as a pill or a dropper. Great stuff. Something else to consider would be cooking with coconut oil. Coconut oil contains something called lauric acid, and lauric acid has great antimicrobial effects, and it doesn't seem to be affected very much by heat. I would do some of or all of these things to prevent the cold or the flu during the cold and flu season. I'm Jeff Hills. I'm from Healthy Appetites Natural Foods for PACTV.
My name is Nancy Howlett. I'm the Acting Town Administrator for the Town of Kingston. I would like to call your attention today to the upcoming town meeting that is scheduled on April 6th, 2013 at 9 a.m. at the intermediate school. You may think I'm speaking a little premature since it's in April, but I'd like to talk to you about the procedure that the town goes through to get the articles to the town meeting. In October, the Budget Advisory Committee met and they voted to ask the town departments and boards and committees to submit budgets that are level services. Level services means that you cannot make any increases in your budget requests except for contractual increases. Now, a contractual increase could be due to a contract for unions for salaries or wages, or you may have a contract that has an escalation clause. Other than that, the budgets were supposed to be at the same funding level as last year. Budgets had been submitted with some additional funding requests that would be given consideration if there was additional funding available. Once the Budget Advisory Committee's directive was sent to the departments prepared their budgets and submitted them to the town administrator. Once I received the budgets, I review them and I compile them, and this is what it looks like when that happens. I take this book and I transfer it to the Finance Committee, and the Finance Committee starts their review. While residents are hunkering down for the winter, the Finance Committee is very busy all winter long reviewing department budgets with the departments and making their recommendations. The Capital Planning Committee is also meeting with departments who have capital requests, and they formulate their recommendations. And then both committees meet with the Board of Selectmen to make the recommendations, and all those recommendations formulate the financial articles that go to town meeting. In addition to the financial articles, the town has received many petitioned articles from citizens. And just so I don't slip up here, I'll read from my list. One of the articles is to change to a strong manager form of government. It's essentially a charter for the town rather than the present form of government. There was also a petitioned article for street acceptance for the roadways at Village at Russell Pond. There are several general bylaw changes, and then there is also a request to have several parcels of land declared surplus so they could be offered for sale to the public. Those are just some of the articles. I would like to say that the town moderator and the Finance Committee chairman will be doing a complete rundown of all the articles as we do get closer to town meeting, and PACTV will be showing that presentation. I encourage you to watch that presentation and learn about what's going on in town and what the town's business will be at that annual town meeting. And I also encourage you to please attend the town meeting on Saturday, April 6th, 9 a.m. at the intermediate school. Don't let other people make decisions for you. You come and make decisions that you want for the town. Residents who would like to have a copy of the annual town meeting warrant mailed to their home should call the Selectman's office at 781-585-0500. The warrant will be posted to the town's website on or about March 15th. It'll include the articles and the motions that will be moved at town meeting, and that is at www.kingstonmass.org. And you can view the warrant there or print it, and copies will be available at the townhouse on or about the 15th, and we have them at the day of the town meeting. They will also be available.
Thanks for watching this week's PACTV Community News. You can view our entire program or watch individual stories by searching for us on YouTube.
You can also see us by liking PCN or PACTV Community News on our Facebook page. Also, visit the PCN page at pactv.org for more information about our coming programs.
We're always looking for story ideas. Email me, kim@pactv.org, or fill out the story submission form at our website.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week on PACTV Community News.